All right, Isaiah chapter 5.
Let me sing now for my well-beloved a song of my beloved concerning his vineyard. My well-beloved had a vineyard on a fertile hill, and he dug it all around, removed its stones, and planted it with the choicest vine. And he built a tower in the middle of it, and he hewed out a wine vat in it.
Yep.
Then he expected it to produce good grapes, but it produced only worthless ones.
All right, who do you think it's talking about? He planted a most choice vine, built a tower, hewed out the wine vat, expected to get grapes, good fruit, but it only produced worthless fruit. He's been talking about these people for 5 chapters. It's Israel. That's the vineyard. The vineyard was Israel.
Mm-hmm.
And they're giving Yahweh bad fruit. If a tree produces bad fruit, what do? You cut it down and throw it in the fire.
Yeah.
Or verse 3.
And now the inhabitants of Jerusalem and men of Judah judge between me and my vineyard. What more was there to do for my vineyard? I have not done it. Why, when I expected to produce good grapes, did it only
produce worthless ones?
So now let me tell you what I am going to do to my vineyard. I will remove its hedge, and it will be consumed. I will break down its wall, and it will become trampled ground.
Mm-hmm.
And I will lay it in waste, and it will be pruned.
It will not be pruned or hoed.
It will not be pruned or hoed. But briars,
like thorn bushes.
Mm-hmm. Briars and thorns will come up, will also charge the clouds to rain on it. For the vineyard of Yahweh of hosts is a house of Israel, and the men of Judah his delightful plant. Thus he looked for justice, but behold, bloodshed for righteousness, but behold, a cry of distress.
See, they're not good to their fellow men. They're brothers and sisters. He wants justice, and all they're doing is killing each other. Bloodshed, war. He wants righteousness, but only cries of distress. Okay, verse 8.
Woe to those who add house to house and join field to field until there's no more room, so that you have to live alone in the midst of the land. In my ears, Yahweh of hosts has sworn, surely many houses shall become desolate, even great and the fine ones without occupants. For 10 acres a vineyard will yield only 1 bath of wine, and 1 homer of seed will yield but an ephah of grain.
So a lot of seed for a little grain, and a lot of land for a little wine. Listen, let me ask you something. When a man plants vineyards, grapevines, what does he want?
Grapes.
Grapes to do what?
To eat.
And to make wine. So a man plants a vineyard for the purpose to have fruit and make wine and drink wine. Wine symbolizes happiness and the fullness of life. When things are good, there's a large grape crop. When there's a large grape crop, there's a lot of wine. When there's a lot of wine, there's a lot of joy. You understand? Mm-hmm. That's how the Bible tells it. That's what Yahweh wants. He wants to plant a vineyard called Israel. He wants them to bear much fruit, so that fruit would bring joy and happiness and fullness of life to the whole society of Israel. But these people refuse to be good vines and produce good fruit. You understand? That's what he's talking about, so you guys can understand. Woe to those who rise early in the morning that they may pursue strong drink, who stay up late in the evening that wine may inflame them. What kind of people do that? People get up early and drink hard alcohol. And people who stay up late and drinking a lot of wine, what kind of people are they? Bad people, right? Yeah. So he's saying, woe to them. Woe to these bad people. Their banquets are accompanied by lyre and harp, by tambourines and flute, and by wine, but they do not pay attention to the deeds of Yahweh. Who are these people? Most of the people in the earth. What do they want to do? They want to drink, they want to eat, they want to have good music. But do they ever worry or pay attention to the deeds of Yahweh? No. That's bad fruit. Is that good fruit or bad fruit?
Bad fruit.
Bad fruit. They do not pay attention to the deeds of Yahweh, nor do they consider the works of his hands. Therefore, my people go into exile for their lack of knowledge, and their honorable men are famished. What does famished mean? Starving. And their multitude is parched with thirst. What does parched with thirst mean?
Like they're thirsty.
Yeah, they're they're parched for thirst. They need a drink. Therefore, Sheol. What's Sheol? Do we know?
No.
Sheol is the underworld where men go when they die. Good men go to a good place, and bad men go to a bad place. So it says this: Sheol has enlarged its throat and opened its mouth without measure. What does that mean? It means dead people are coming by the droves to Sheol. Sheol has opened its mouth wide. Why? Because everybody's dying. Yeah, everyone's dying, so it needs to open wide to receive all the dead people that are dying from starvation and thirst. Is this a good situation? No. And could it have been averted? Could it have not happened? What could Israel have done that this would not have happened?
Be good.
Give him the fruit that he wants. The vineyard planted a vineyard, right? On a good hill. What does he want? Good fruit. What is good fruit? Righteous deeds, walking according to the Torah, and loving your brother, not committing bloodshed, doing unto others as you would have them do unto you, following Torah, basically, being righteous. That's the fruit that he wants. And seeking Yahweh, right? Don't forget that. That's the most important thing. Seek Yahweh to find him. And if they do that, would any of this have happened? Would anything of this would have happened?
No.
No. None of this would have happened. So whose fault is it? Yahweh's?
No.
Should we blame Yahweh for this?
No.
No. The people are dumb and they do it to themselves. Who's their enemy? Who's the people's enemy?
Themselves.
Themselves.
Yahweh.
Well, Yahweh becomes their enemy. You're right about that.
They're against him.
When they're against him, they're his enemy. And then he has to take the hedge. Remember in the beginning it said that? Verse 5. Now let me tell you what I am going to do to my vineyard. I will remove its hedge and it will be consumed. What's a hedge for? What did they say to Job? What did Satan say to Elohim about Job? You remember when Satan said, "Does Job love you for nothing?" And he says, "Have you not blank?" Huh?
Put a hedge around him.
Have you not put a hedge about him? Right? And how does that match here? What did he do to Israel? He did what? What did he do?
He destroyed.
Satan says, does Job love you for nothing? You've hedged him in. Nothing can do what? Attack him, hurt him, harm him. Of course he loves you. But take your protection away and he'll surely do what? Curse you to your face. Right? And what does Yahweh do to Israel? Removes their hedge. Why? To let the enemy destroy them. That's bad news, right? So the common man will be humbled, and the man of importance abased. I of the proud also will be abased, brought down. But Yahweh of hosts will be exalted in judgment, and the holy Elohim will show himself holy in righteousness. Then the lambs will graze as in their pasture, and strangers will eat in the waste places of the wealthy. Woe to those who drag iniquity with the cords of falsehood, and sin as if with carts with cart ropes, who say, let him make speed, let him hasten his work, that we may see it. And let the purpose of the Holy One of Israel draw near and come to pass, that we may know it. Woe to those who call evil good and good evil. Who does that? Who calls evil good and good evil? Who substitute bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter? Woe to those who are wise in their own eyes and clever in their own sight. Woe to those who are heroes in drinking wine and valiant men in mixing strong drink, who justify the wicked for a bribe and take away the rights of the ones who are in the right. Therefore, as a tongue of fire consumes stubble and dry grass collapses into the flame, so their root will become like rot and their blossom blow away as dust. Not good. For they have rejected the law, the Torah of Yahweh of hosts. What's the Torah?
Yahweh's law.
His instructions, right? They have rejected the Torah and instructions of Yahweh of hosts and despised the word of the Holy One of Israel. On this account, how many people do that in this world? Reject the law of Yahweh of hosts, the Torah, and despise the word of the Holy One of Israel. How many people?
A lot.
Most people in the world. Very few. I'm sure less than 1 in 100. On this account, the anger of Yahweh has burned against his people, and he has stretched out his hand against them and struck them down. And the mountains quake, and their corpses lay like refuse in the middle of the streets. What does it mean when people are dead just lying in the streets? Would you like to live in a place like that? We're walking down the street and people are laying dead in the street? No, it's a bad situation because of their sin. He has stretched out his hand against them and struck them down. The mountains quake and their corpses lay like refuse in the middle of the street. For all this, his anger is not spent, but his hand is still stretched out. He will also lift up a standard to the distant nations. So it's not only for his people, but he's going to lift up a standard, an expectation to all the nations. And will whistle for it from the ends of the earth. What does Papa do when he wants to get your attention?
You whistle.
I whistle. When Papa whistles, what do? Right? Right away, right? You go, oh, that's Papa. Whistle, right? Well, Yahweh is going to whistle to all the ends of the earth. And behold, it will come with speed swiftly. He's going to make an expectation of all the nations. No one in it is weary or stubble. None slumbers or sleeps. Nor is the belt at its waist undone, nor its sandal strap broken. Its arrows are sharp, and all its bows are bent. The hoofs of his horses seem like flint, and its chariot wheels like a whirlwind. Roaring is like a lioness, and it roars like young lions. It growls as it seizes the prey and carries it off with no one to deliver it. And it will growl over it in that day like the roaring of the sea. If one looks to the land, behold, there is darkness and distress. Even the light is darkness by its clouds. Does it sound like anything is good here?
No.
Nothing is good. When Yahweh's judgment is coming, and that's what it is now. We're in those days, the judgment is coming. So we need to be what? Since we know this, since we're people of the word, since we're people who want to walk in Torah, in Yahweh's instructions, what do we got to do?
You gotta seek Yahweh and follow the Torah.
More and more and more every day. For ourselves. Listen, Papa only can do it for himself. Papa can get us around the table and read, right?
Yeah.
Well, what about you, Bane? You can read. You should read. You should read the Bible. Start reading it, you know? Pick a book and read through it for yourself. Think about it. Think about what Yahweh wants to say to you, you know? And Creedy, what can you do? Finish learning how to read so that you can read the Bible. Understand? Sometimes we get up in the morning and what are we thinking? All play and fun, and that's great. We still have time for that. You know, there's still peace here in the United States, thankfully. But one day that's going to go away. And so today we need to prepare our hearts that when that day comes, we're ready. We're ready for Yahweh to come back. You understand? You need to show Yahweh that you are interested in Yahweh. Not just with Papa around the table. You got to talk to Yahweh. You got a tongue, right? Your tongue works?
Yeah.
Well, use it to talk to Yahweh. You understand, Papa? You guys should. You guys should talk to Yahweh, please. You got to pray for Papa. Pray for Mama, right? Help us to advance Yahweh's kingdom, because that's what we're waiting for. We're waiting for his kingdom to come to earth. Right now, Donald Trump is the president of the United States, right?
Yeah.
But not for long. Yeshua is going to rule the world forever. Yahweh is going to be the highest one. And Yeshua will rule from Jerusalem. And make sure everybody walks to the standard of Torah, the instructions of Yahweh. And we need to look forward to that, to the kingdom that's coming. Because it's real. It's like the Matrix, right? They couldn't believe, right? There was a whole nother thing. And they're trying to live in the truth. Well, the truth is we're in the Matrix, right? This world is devil's matrix. It looks real, right? It feels real. But if you live for this world and play and fun and he, ha, 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 and that's the center of everything that we do, that means you're not living for the kingdom. That's important for you guys to think about, even at this young age, 8 and 10. All right? You going to do that for me? Mm-hmm. But do it for yourself. Don't do it for Papa. Do it for yourself and do it for Yahweh, okay? Amen?
Amen.
Amen. Next week, chapter 6.